like it. It sure felt like it.
I mean, drop something. If you're watching on video, on Spotify video, you would have saw that. But no, because if you think of like where we were standing, you can wander our way over, because this is Wandering Ways.
What's Bigfoot possibility?
Clink.
Clink.
Whoa, what's up?
Right now, everybody listening is thinking one of two things. First thing, thank God Zach is back. We don't have to listen to a whole episode of just Mark. Or they're thinking, God damn it, Zach is back. I don't want to deal with this anymore.
Right? No, I'm excited. I'm excited to listen to it because we've never done an episode like that. And I wasn't there for the one you recorded, and it hasn't quite come out. Well, when this episode comes out, it will have come out. But by us recording it, I haven't heard it yet. So I'm quite interested. I'm not going to lie, to hear how it goes. And I listen along, so...
Yeah, we'll see. Everybody is wanting whatever. I don't know right now, but no, dude, the reason why though you missed is because you were in Yellowstone.
Yeah, literally, I literally got back maybe half hour ago, if that.
Yeah, perks of living close to Yellowstone is you can turn that into your weekend park, which it's pretty sweet to have.
Well, I mean, today alone, we got some pretty great animals, tons of elk, tons of deer, tons of bison, as, per usual. But we encountered a moose and her calf. That was amazing to see, just because moose are weird creatures, man. They look like horse, mules, whatever, they're big, they're goofy, and they're strong, especially a mama with her calf like that, because she was eyeing the crowd of people that was watching her. And she was not having it. It was interesting though, because talking earlier in the day. So basically, I'll just give you a rundown of what I did. It was just a day trip.
See, that's a perk of living close to Yellowstone, is you can make it a day trip.
I know. Well, it was supposed to be yesterday, and Thea wasn't feeling well, and we kind of both were like, well, let's just sleep in. Our alarm went off, and we're like, let's just sleep in. We can go tomorrow. We can go tomorrow. You know what I mean? So we did. We got into the park, probably 10:30-ish, rolled right on through to Lamar Valley, just kind of hitting the stops. You see some animals here, you see some animals there, take pictures of the Jeep, the usual. And we encountered this guy and this park ranger at this spot, and he was talking to me. I kind of waved to him. I was like, "Oh, what are these guys looking at?" Because you can see these people were looking at. Oh, there were some sheep about a half hour ago that were right here, and I think people are still kind of looking for them to see. They bed down right up on top, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And interesting enough, where that spot is, kind of, but also where we always see in the Lamar Valley, where we always see bighorn sheep.
Okay, yeah.
I'm interested in that because that mountain range is on the east side of the Yellowstone River, right?
Yeah.
And when you're entering the park, that mountain range where they hang out, where you see them all the time, is on the east side of the river. I'm curious if it's the same herd that migrates back and forth on top of this mountain, or those mountain ranges. Who knows?
Yeah,
probably the park.
Someone probably does, but I don't know, because they keep an eye on all of those like herds and stuff, especially in parks. So
they got collars, trackers, and
yeah. So I'm sure somebody knows, but as for like me, guess as good as mine.
I'm going to say maybe. But then I'm also going to say no, because you go to those same places in the park and you always see sheep. So I'm assuming it's just the resident herd. Because they do migrate. They migrate down from the mountains. I know that, Nye, where Nye, Montana is, the sheep will come down to the actual mine that's there. The Stillwater mine that mines plutonium and stuff for our phones and stuff. Yeah, they'll go like right up on the back hills down there all the time in the winter. But no, so we ran into him, and he was telling me about that, and he was telling me about like we saw 8 moose today, we saw some otters, and I was like, really? He goes, yeah, I just been going back and forth all day. And I said, oh, cool. I was here like a couple weeks ago, saw some otters. I said that was the first time I've ever seen otters in this river, because it was that first exit right there by the Lamar River. It was really cool. We drove into Cook City, ate at the old saloon, and then got back on the road and hit the Lamar Valley, hitting those pullouts, saw the moose, saw some really cool bison encounters, and ended the night, in Gardner there at the Yellowstone Hot Springs, and got a good soak in, beautiful sunset right there in Yankee Jim Canyon. And then on the road again to blind truckers with my light bar. No, I'm just kidding. But if you flash your high beams at me, you're getting a light bar, trucker. I'm just saying.
Perks of that's a nice little day trip out to Yellowstone.
Well,
Cool that you were able to see some stuff too.
Well, the best part too of that is like I was already talking to Jared, and Jared was like, "You saw a moose? I really wanted to see one." I said, "Well, what are you doing next weekend?"
Yeah, right. That's another perk of seeing animals. Is like when you see something, you're like, whoo, you get that dopamine hit, and you're like, let's go, let's get another one.
Yeah, no. Well, what's crazy too with like the last few times I've gone into the Lamar. Well, so I've gone twice so far this winter and twice last winter into the park. I saw a wolf and a fox last year, and the fox was hunting mice and voles. And this year I saw river otters and a moose in the Lamar Valley, which, the Lamar Valley has all the animals, but when you see the rare ones, it's really spectacular.
Indeed. Yeah, Lamar Valley's always got the best. It's got the best stuff in Lamar Valley.
I know. And I'm thinking because you, my guy, you're running a marathon in Missoula. So if you guys want to pledge or do whatever Mark's got to do what you got to do for him. But he's running a marathon, half marathon.
No, I'm gonna do the full.
Oh, he's going to do all 23.2 or 1?
It's like 26 miles.
26.2.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's 13.1. I'm dyslexic in that way.
Oh, yeah. No. Full 26.2 miles. Yeah, it's gonna be a doozy. I think it's gonna be a tough one. But
just pick you up when it's over. Just call me at the finish line. I'm at here in Missoula. Okay, I'll see you there.
I know. I'm gonna find the closest pub afterwards, and I'm gonna have a beer.
But my thought, talking out loud, is because, I love seeing Old Faithful. Don't get me wrong, and I know you enjoy seeing those great sights too. But on our way back from Missoula to Billings, hey man, let's just spend some time in the Lamar and Hayden Valley driving those all day.
Oh, that's very possible. Never really
here's my thought.
Thought about that one, but
here's my thought. And wanderers, let me know if you think this is a good thought. Mark, that race is on a Sunday.
It's on a Saturday, I think.
Same thing, weekend. No, I'm just kidding. Well, whenever your race is, I say we go down to Prey, stay at Jared or Colton's because they'll be cool about it. And what we'll do is we'll spend a day in the park, just hitting the Lamar and Hayden Valley, driving that little area. And then when the sun starts to set, do the Beartooth, and hopefully we encounter some mountain goats.
That could work. Yeah, that could work.
Yeah. I just, spitballing here.
Yeah. Yeah, I hadn't really thought, I don't know. All I had on my list was running that marathon. So
there you go.
I still need to buy the plane ticket out there.
You need to talk to everyone who's driving back too, because maybe you just buy the one way and
no, I think it will be hella cheap.
Okay.
I know the tickets. I know how to get cheap plane tickets.
You do, but you also don't, because I'm looking at plane tickets for Mardi Gras, back out of New Orleans. And no matter, I've been searching since August, and they've stayed.
you have not been searching the right way. They're
Okay.
searching and then they're searching the right way. And I have a trick. That's why I was able to get like a round trip to Europe for like $600.
Yeah, but you don't share your secrets, so
No, it's well known. I'm not going to give it out on the podcast, but it is
after we'll
actually
talk.
I may have given it out on the podcast, to be fair, under like some tips travel, probably early on.
There you go, the OGs now.
Yeah, I have a few.
Well, Tyler's really big into that Hopper app. He thinks that's kind of legit for travel. So
Oh,
he likes it. He says it tracks the prices and how they trend and whatnot. I don't know. I figure it out. I'll figure it out. I ain't worried.
speaking of planning ahead,
Oh, this is how you're gonna do it, huh?
yeah, this is how I'm going to do it. I think it fit well. But speaking of planning ahead, if you are planning any kind of summer, spring, late fall, or early fall trip, mostly summer though, trips to the parks, there are some parks that change things up a bit. And I think it's going to become a trend, which is timed entry.
Yes, it is. And I'm one of those places, and especially because this is one of our favorite places, Glacier, right? They're one of those parks that are doing that. And it's for the Going to Sun Road, which makes sense. I mean, we've been on that road
Yeah.
seeing shit, but they're also doing it in Polebridge.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They must have been getting a lot of people up there.
I think a lot of money has moved to that area. If you look at some of those housing shows, Polebridge actually pops up on quite a few. Like, HGTV, I have $2 million to spend on a house.
That's
Buy it.
interesting.
And there's this like famous girl I follow on Instagram. I forget her name, but she was up in Polebridge like last summer, and like you see a lot of the Montana bullshit. It's popular right now. So yay us.
But the timed entry, because they're not the only ones doing it. I mean, Rocky Mountain did it last summer due to the COVID travel craze, where everybody was going to the parks. And I'm not sure if they are doing it again this year. I found both that they were and they weren't. So unfortunately for everyone, I don't have an answer, which you'll want to look up on if they are doing it. But the one park that I know, and this is new for them, is Arches. They're doing the timed entry.
Yeah, and they announced it pretty well, which I like. Arches, if you follow them on social media, they have a really good like how they update people. Those Utah parks actually do a real good job on social media with how they update you on this stuff. Because that's actually, I think, how I saw Arches was going to this timed entry was through one of like Arches National Parks Facebook posts.
Oh, it very well could be. But that like, so that's the third part, and there's actually other parks that have like permits and stuff for bigger attractions. So
Well,
it's one of those things we kind of saw coming.
Well, and I'm sure that as these other parks, like they're going to roll these out. Take for example the little van bus things that Canyon has. That Yellowstone. There's two parks that got those little like they take people from like one area to the other.
Oh, the
electric van type weird.
Yeah, they're like weird bus things.
Yeah. So like now, like my thought is like with this timed entry, you're going to use it in these parks first, but it's going to roll over. I mean, you're going to see it in Smokies. You'll probably see it down in the Everglades. You'll probably see it in not Mount Rushmore.
No, but I mean, a lot of the more popular parks, you're going to start seeing it, or the smaller parks that get a lot of people. Because in reality, like when you first hear it, you have to like sign up like a lottery on when to enter an area. at first glance, like hearing it, you think it's a horrible idea. You're like, it's maybe not a horrible idea, but it's an idea that you don't really like. And then when you hear how it kind of works, it makes sense, which is it's just to get in. But once you're in, you're in. You
Well,
could literally be there all day.
and I think some of the frustration comes from like when you're traveling, right? You don't know what time you're going to get to Arches. So that does hurt plans sometimes. But I mean, looking at all these like kind of the articles and stories about it's more just to help manage the congestion that already exists.
Yeah.
And you can work around it because like you can go up going to sun at like 5 a.m. if you want to skip the timed entry, because not a lot of people are going to do that. Looking at, so I pulled up on Coloradoan.com talking about Rocky Mountain. It's the third most visited national park, and they've only proposed for 2022. They haven't yet decided. Okay. But it's May 27th through October 10th there. And the reason is reservations are being based on the 90% of parking and transit capacity, which equates to around 20,000 visitors and 7,200 vehicles per day in Rocky Mountain National Park.
Yeah. And it makes sense like why Arches is doing it. It's just that one road. And yeah. I mean, I've been to Arches only a couple times, and both times I've seen long lines to like get into the park, and then like that first road there. So
our entrance into Arches wasn't bad, but we came in the afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in peak time, it can get real bad.
It can. No, and I going to sun, same thing, right? It's one of those roads. It's the road in Glacier, right? It's the only one. I guess that makes more sense for like a Yellowstone and why you don't see as many. I'm actually kind of surprised Yellowstone hasn't a timed entry, especially that entrance in West Yellowstone, because I have seen that one backed up for like 2 miles.
Yeah, that would be the only one I could see them doing it at. The thing is, like, once you're in the park, though, it's pretty cake. When you're in Yellowstone, anyway, you don't have much traffic. I mean, in the really populated or popular areas you're going to, but it's such a vast park that I think just the sheer size of it helps control any kind of overcrowding. Right now, it could change, but right now.
Well, and I guess I agree with what you're saying, because you're right. We, our age, and kind of the travel that we do, we are more flexible with that kind of stuff. The when we're going in, the when we're going out. We can drive in the dark. We're okay with that. There are people who aren't okay with that. So 4 o'clock rolls around. Hey, we got to go back to Gardner. Got to go back to West Yellowstone. So that park does clear out, which is nice. Whereas these other parks, they do clear out and clear, but during the peak, like you said, you're going to be waiting in line.
Yeah, some of them are real bad.
Yeah, so the Glacier ticket system, which is something that we're going to have to do, right? May 27th through September 11th are the dates.
What's really nice about a lot of these ticket systems that they have for all of the parks, really, they go through recreation.gov. They go through recreation.gov.
Yes.
So that's nice because it keeps it all in one place. Not each place has like their own site you have to go through. Like you can hit all of them from this one site.
And it's an easy site to use. So that's nice. Reading this, right? So it's basically designed for high traffic volumes. They're going to do it at the West Yellowstone, the West Glacier entrance, the St. Mary entrance, and then they say the new Camas entrance.
They have a new entrance?
Yeah, so I'm curious to see that. A ticket per, and then it says in 2022, a ticket per vehicle will also be required at the Pole Bridge Ranger Station to visit the North Fork area of the park.
Oh, you're gonna have to have a pass, huh?
I wonder though, because they didn't check us for our pass,
Yeah.
nor did they check. Like, there's a lot of probably Montanans that like live in Montana that just use like those lakes as if they're like normal lakes, you know what I mean, or that area. So I could imagine them saying like, no, you're gonna have a ticket, just because there's enough park traffic that now we have to make it so that you can't just show up.
Yeah, I'm sure
Because when we were up there, there was a lot of those kind of cars, I noticed.
there were. Yeah, I remember when we were there. It looked like a lot of like that's just the lake you go to on the weekend.
Yeah, and they are, and this is a good one for our listeners too. They are making a point to let you know that these are tickets you have to get, but you also make sure you have either a park pass or a lifetime annual pass, one of those passes to get you into the park too. This ticket is just for the road.
Yeah, and that's for a lot of these, even when it comes down to the more specific kind of hikes or things to do in these parks too. Like Half Dome, that ticket is just for the cables part of Half Dome. So it doesn't get you into the park, it doesn't get you a campground. And you can do backcountry for Half Dome, but it doesn't get you those backcountry permits either. It's literally just for the like cables part. And I'm certain it's similar for Angel's Landing. Like it's just for Angel's Landing.
Oh, we'll get up there. We'll get to that here in a little bit. But it is saying in Glacier. So you have a lodging, camping, transportation, or commercial activity that you've paid for, that reservation will get you in as well. So if you're like, oh, we're staying at McDonald Lodge, well, they'll let you in. But also it's going to be a $2 ticket.
Yeah. So but they have to do that when it comes to like a Half Dome or like going to the sun, or even in Acadia Road where you have to buy a reservation to go up. Because like we said with Angel's Landing for years, well, I don't know, well, years since we've done it, but only like a year here on the podcast. But there's just too many people.
Oh, 100%. I'm interested in this Camas entry. I really am, where it's going to be at in the park. So I'm gonna have to look up maps.
Oh, got a fun little thing. Confused old Zach. Now we got all of our maps are out of date now.
All right, gotta get new ones.
Yeah.
I'm interested. You kind of did some research on Arches. What are they saying?
Arches is the timed entry. It's classic. Just get into the park, timed entry. You can book out. It's like 3-4 months ahead of time you can book. So like by the time you're listening to this, you're probably looking at end of April, beginning of May is when you get into the park. So you have some time on when you'll know. But once you get into the park with this one, you're good to be there however long you want to be there. If you get the 6 a.m. and you leave at 6 p.m., that's cool. If you get there at 6 a.m. and you leave at 7 a.m., that's cool too.
It's your choice to do with what you want in those parks, and that's what makes them so beautiful. You can spend the days, the hours, or you can spend, the minutes, the moments. But
yeah,
I love it. I mean, I like that the parks are going to this. It's safer. I think it helps. It really helps eliminate the boneheads, I think, too, because there's a lot of people who just expect things and just show up, and they don't go through these processes. I get not knowing and not understanding, but there's those, there's the people that know these things exist, but are going to try and go up and do it anyway. And it's not, oh, fuck the system, man, because that's typically what that response is. But it's like, no, this is just because we've seen too many idiots. And when it comes to mountain driving, I guess call ignorance is bliss, right? You know, growing up in the mountains, being able to explore, go to Yellowstone, it's in my backyard, you know, and do that and drive on snow roads and all that. I guess I have that because you get some of these people that you're just like, you know, what are you doing? Did you not read the newspaper that says use the pullout? They even say it to you when they hand you the newspaper.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. You're on vacation, but you know, you're not the only one there.
Yeah. No, I'm for it too. I know it'll be a headache at times because you're going to be like, I really wanted to get in for this and you just can't, or you want to get something and you don't get it. So there will be some frustrating parts, but man, when you do get it, it makes it that much sweeter and it's not that much of a hassle. It's going to make the overall experience better. So I'm kind of all for this new timed entry deal.
Timed entry is interesting because it's a little bit different than permits, you know, because that's more of well, they're both for congestion, but that's more to manage the flow of congestion, where permits are a little bit different too. Because like I look at like the wave in Arizona as one of the ones I want to do, and
Yeah.
just the fact that the time and planning you have to, you know, it's more of like I won this lottery. You know, when you put in for the North Cascades, it's like fuck, we won if you get it.
Yeah.
But we didn't, so we didn't win. We lost. Versus like this, where this is just to get you in. You know, you don't get your timed entry spot. You can probably find another one, as well as go that day, but just go super early or super late.
Yeah, I think it's easier to maneuver a timed entry. I do think that that is true.
You know what that means? Time for another commercial break where we get to tell you to like, subscribe, and review our podcast. Whether you're getting that podcast on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, WhatsApp, whatever podcast app you use, you can make it happen.
And don't forget, this is also the time to let you guys know that you can pick up that Wandering Ways swag at the Teespring. Make sure to check it out. The link is in the bio down below or in the episode description. It's even in the show description too if you can't find it in the episode. But you can go on there. You can get your sweatshirts. You can get your shirts. You can get long sleeves, short sleeves. You can even get some socks. It looks pretty cool. Highly recommend. You will be impressing everybody at your next bonfire with some Wandering Ways swag.
You know, and if that's not enough, we're going to tell you to follow us individually on our social medias. You could check me out at the Rugru or Zach of Wandering Ways. You know, check out the adventure firsthand where there might not be any ads.
Exactly. And who doesn't like some good free pub? I need the followers to go up. So I'm going to throw out Reverend Marcus. Check me out on the Twitter, on the Instagram. I do some cool stuff. So please give me the follow. All right.
We also do not cool stuff.
Yeah. But anyways, let's keep wandering on. Before we go any farther, it is time to show off some cool shit in nature.
Nice.
And this week, I have two. I have one is a picture that I thought was really, really cool of good old Mount Hood.
Oh, that is cool.
So the reason why I thought this was so cool is so the sun is setting very low to the horizon and it's creating a shadow on Mount Hood. And the way this guy's captured the photo, there's like such a distinct line from the shadow.
Yeah, in the clouds, which is the best part. What band is that? That is the triangle with the rainbow coming out. It has the white line.
Pink Floyd.
Okay, I thought it was. I just didn't want to say that and be wrong. I knew you would know, so that's what it reminds me of.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Just the way the dark is coming in just has that feeling.
Yeah, I see
That's
it.
a cool pick.
Oh yeah. When I saw this, I was like, this is definitely one to reshare because when I look at it, I think of a sundial or clock.
Oh yeah, I see that
In
too.
my head.
I see you at work like, hey, slide, print athlete report, print COVID test, print COVID test, slide this in there, print COVID test, and then you're going to hang this up on your work computer on the back. So when your athletes come in, they see it.
Oh, this picture? Probably not. I don't hang a lot in my office.
Oh, I thought this would be the one.
No, I don't know. Maybe.
Copy paper. It's not as pretty as the.
Yeah. So this next one is just kind of a video of the Northern Lights.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is super cool. I mean, I really want to see these things.
Yeah, we really just need to plan a trip to Iceland.
Or north. Just honestly, we just gotta go north.
Just do one of those road trips where it's like we're going north to Canada and just seeing how far this fucking Jeep will go before it blows up on us.
We probably would reach Alaska.
Well, I just mean like we do that, car blows up, we get a new one, run
Oh,
her
yeah.
down, leave her there. Saw the Northern Lights.
Leave her to pasture.
Yeah, that's what natives do. You drive by a reservation, you can tell the white homes from the native homes. The native homes have all the cars out in front because they put the cars out to pasture, just like the horse. I put too much time and money. I worked hard for that thing. I ain't going to sell it. I'm going to fucking park in my backyard and let the plants grow in it. That's, I mean, I'm
One
not,
way to do it. Yeah. One way to do it.
right? Actually, speaking of the reservation, I've been getting into that Yellowstone.
Oh, that show. I've watched like 2 episodes of it.
Dude, it's so disingenuous to the natives here in Montana. Because it's like, what fucking 400-room hotel casino is in Montana that the natives own? Like, none. It's not California. It's not Arizona. Like, the Tribal Gaming Commission in Montana, it sucked because the state of Montana set up gaming to basically combat that.
Yeah.
And basically, if you want to get a liquor license in Montana, you have to open up, at least have 6 Keno machines. And it's crazy how it just made it so hard for the natives to make. Why are you going to drive to Crow? Why are you going to drive to Fort Peck? Why are you going to drive to Fort Belknap? Why? I can go to Billings, Great Falls. They're not as great, but they're just as great.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. I never really thought of that when I watched the show, but I also only made it again 2 episodes in, and I was like, I don't know if this is my thing.
I mean, it's very kind of, so far those 2. It's just thriller. It's very adventure, or not adventure, but entertainment, exciting, thriller, shooting, a Wild West. I mean, it's cool because where they film it is over in Darby, Montana, which is near Stevensville, where David lives, and Colton's dad. And they, so you see that, but it's funny, they go to some of the cities. They say they go to Livingston, it's Helena, like in the shots. And then one of my favorite is this ranch girl from Miles City is becoming they're trying to get her elected. she's like, oh yeah, our ranch is over there by Lewiston. And I was like, if you're from Miles City, you'll never call Lewistown Lewiston. This is in Idaho. Like, just the little things that like you could do better, but because they don't give a fuck, because it's just about making a movie,
Yeah, whenever they make like shows like that, or most movies, they always make those kind of mistakes where
or Big Sky, where they film in Albuquerque. The first season they filmed in British Columbia. The new season they filmed down in New Mexico, and they have the pinyon trees. Like, oh yeah, because you see those all over Montana. No, it just needs to be said.
Yeah, it's just Hollywood being Hollywood at the end of the day.
It really is.
Yeah. So going back to permits though, most there are still the permits for all of the other things that needed permits, like backcountry, which is that lottery plus day of, sometimes just day of. Half Dome, still a lottery when it comes to the parks and stuff like that. The newest one is, again, Angel's Landing, which we've talked about.
Well, I'm on their page right now. So right now, for big ad to click on, right here it says, for hikes April 1st to May 31st, apply for a hiking permit and then apply it by January 20th. So yeah, 11 more days from when we're recording this. But the recreation.gov right big behind it. And like we said, this was a hike needed.
Yeah.
Needed this system.
Yeah. It sounds like it's similar to Arch's timeline where it's like that 3-4 months out.
Yep. So the pilot program reflects lessons learned when they've did metered hikers in 2019 and 2021. And then basically using the shuttle system as well is how they came up with this. So if you're wanting to hike, like we said, April 1st, May 31st, lottery opens January 3rd, closes the 20th. Permits issued 5 days later. So from when it closes, they're going to choose in 5 days. If you want to hike June 1st to August 31st, so the summer months, lottery opens April 1st and close the 20th. If you want to hike September 1st to November 30th, July 1st is open, July 20th is closed, and December 1st to February 28th is October 1st to October 20th. So it seems pretty simple, 3 months out in advance.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. And which is, again, kind of nice because it's just a simple system. And thank God they're doing it. I mean, shoot, we called it the day we hiked it, you know. So it's we knew it was coming, and by golly, George, they're really doing it.
You can, so there's that, and that's the seasonal lottery is what they call that one, right? $3 is what it costs to get the permit per person. So if you have, you know, say me, you, and Matt want to do it, that's gonna be $9 for my permit.
Nice.
But there is a day before lottery.
Oh.
So you can apply for a permit the day before your planned hike on and after March 31st, 2022. It opens every day at midnight, basically, and closes at 3 p.m. Mountain Time. It costs $6 to apply for these ones, so double the money. But it also that you could do 6 people on that $6. So depends on how you do it.
Oh, nice. That
Go ahead.
that's a good little service the day before.
Yeah. Let's see. For example, if you want to hike on a Tuesday, you need to apply on Monday. We will issue permits at 4 p.m. that Monday, so an hour after. Yeah, so it's $6, but it's $6 to apply. But and once you get it, you will also be charged $3 per person. That's what it says now. And they'll email it to you. And you just show them.
Make sure you got good Wi-Fi, everybody.
Yeah, it says print or download. And you have like 3 days to print. There's also, you go to I'm on Zion's National Park page. There's a video here. Enter the lottery. Finalize your plans. Enjoy your hike. 2-minute, 59-second video. So
Well, that's nice of them to put a video up there because I'm sure many of people would struggle with knowing.
I'm actually interested now to see that it's permitted. I'm curious how many. If that makes sense.
It's
'Cause I
something
haven't-
to look into. One, you can just sign up, try and get one, and just see if they have the number posted. I'm sure they do.
Well, and they probably, yeah, I just, on this one, I mean, it makes sense. It's kind of your like, Q&A kind of frequently asked questions page, your one sheeter. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. I'm curious because like when we went, like, is it going to be less than that? Because then I'm like, well, then I kind of want to do it again. There's less people going up it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, how many people? Because if it's not too bad, it would be worth doing it again.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm looking, and because like the other one here, looking at like the wave in Arizona,
Yeah.
that's 48 people a day. That's like 50 people is not a lot of people, Like it is, and it isn't. But like if that's what Angel's Landing is, there were 50 people on the one junction on.
It sure felt like it. It sure felt like it.
I mean, drop something. If you're watching on video, on Spotify video, you would have saw that. But no, because if you think of like where we were standing, there were multiple places where it was one-way traffic essentially, and there were probably 15 of us waiting to go up and 15 of them waiting to come down, and there were probably 3 or 4 of those spots. So there's 50 people right there.
Oh yeah.
If you really,
that's true. I mean, amongst the whole rock, there had to have been at least 50 people. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, there were a lot of people on the whole shebang. And I don't think we went on that busy of a day.
No, it was like a Tuesday, and we went early in the morning because I think there were more people going up when we were coming down.
Yeah, but I've also seen pictures too, and like we didn't have nearly as bad as some of the pictures I've seen.
And then I saw one of Colton's pictures because he went in like in October or November when it was icy and snowy up there.
Oh, that would be sketch.
And he said it was sketch, but he said there wasn't a lot of people.
Really?
Yeah. So maybe we go in the winter.
Shit.
I got a question for you while we're on this winter activity doing crazy sketchy stuff. Would you canoe a river with me in a blizzard? An easier river, like the Bighorn.
In a blizzard?
Well, because I want to fish the Bighorn in a blizzard. Well, not a blizzard, but when it's snowing.
I think as long as I got a good coat.
Right? All right.
And gloves.
Yeah. I just want to be that guy that's like, I've done it in the winter. You're fine. Fuck it. Be that old man.
I cover my face up, got just my eyes kind of poking out, right? I got that Montana hat on. I got a big coat, gloves. I could do it.
You'll be sweating because you'll be.
I know I would be 100%. Just like, oh, I'm sweating bullets over here.
No, it'd be fun. So cool. I'll pencil you in as a maybe.
Maybe that's perfect.
We need to do the wave, man. It's a BLM, and that one's interesting because it's not through recreation.gov.
Yeah, but it's also not ran by the parks, so it makes sense why it's not necessarily on the recreation.
Oh no, it is. My bad.
Oh,
sorry. Is? Yeah, the way their website, the BLM has a terrible website, so. Even working for them, like navigating it was the worst when I did, it was like, oh. But that's kind of one of their things where it's like, we're the people who want to be in nature so bad that we didn't do national parks or national forests. We chose BLM.
Yeah.
Because we knew we would be out in nature all the time.
Yeah.
Not public facing, No, it's actually, sorry, it is on recreation.gov. My bad. It's actually called Coyote Buttes North, and then in parentheses, the wave.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, need to know. Let's click on that. Permits are non-refundable. Each individual may submit only one application per lottery. You cannot hold more than one permit for a permit area. Okay. Makes sense, though. You can only put in once. Maybe there's other within that.
Well, it's probably one of those where it's like, you don't get it, so you try and get apply again, or try and increase your odds so you apply more than once.
Violate What's the group size number? It just says violators. If you violate the group size, maybe it is only 6 people per.
You know, the wave must not be too terribly big if they've had a permit system for a while.
No, and and it makes sense, right? Because it's just like one rock formation in the desert.
Yeah.
But so they're saying that the Coyote Buttes North is a small part of the Piera Canyon Vermilion Cliffs. So maybe if you're in that area, you can only have one permit for one of those areas.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. It's the hike to the wave is a physically demanding 6.4 mile round trip. I think that's me and you. I think that's our good one. Our good hikes, like our good day hikes, are like 3 in, 3 out.
6.4 round trip.
Yeah,
that's cake.
Well, I know it is for you.
Yeah,
but for us, it's like that's typically on like Angel's Landing is about the same. I think.
Yeah, I can't remember how far Angel's Landing is.
I exited off that page since we were done talking about them, but I saw 6 point something. I didn't know if it was round trip or whole.
The round trip.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But that's good. I mean, that's good stuff for like what we do, because we like to bust out those type of hikes in a day. You know, it's a good day hike, and then on to the next.
It's a good one to go in, hike it, hang out at that point, and hike back.
It's no overnight. If your dates, you want to go, lottery opens application. So it says January 1st to 2022, January 31st. Lottery opens application permits during May.
Oh, so they're January's for May.
Yeah, so I'm assuming then I'm thrown off by this one. Sorry, guys. Is this saying that I have to, if I want to go January 1st, 2022, do I have to? I'm just gonna go try and see the permit. How about that? Let's do that. May 2022, right now, January.
Yeah, that's what I figured. It was like you apply now for May. So if you're planning on, by the time this comes out, hopefully you're planning for June, because I think those are the permits that will be available to you.
Right. Yeah. Right here it says if you want to go May to May 1st, month of January. So it's about, like you said, the 4 months for that month. Like you have 1 month to do the 1 month thing, whereas like Glacier and even Angel's Landing, there's like 3 months. You have a 3 month selection of time for your 1 month or your couple months of this. Yeah. For this one is 1, which is nice because it gives you a little bit more. Because I've had issues with like booking campsites on recreation.gov where it's like, I want this day, and they're like, well, your nearest day is September, and you're like, well, I wanted it for May.
Yeah, I've run into the issues like that, but for the most part, reservation.gov's been fantastic.
I want to say we used them for something else on one of our trips.
Oh, I've used it a ton of times. I think I've used it at least once every year for the past, or every summer for the past 4 years.
Oh, look at you. This ain't your first time.
No, I mean, Oregon, like all of this stuff for Oregon is on recreation.gov.
Well, wasn't that what you were saying, is you were on a hike that like you found out that you had to have a permit because like it was one of, like, Oregon has done that to a lot of their trails?
Oh yeah, that was in Bend. I was on a hike.
Because of COVID, right?
Well, no, they instituted it. Well, it was COVID, because everyone during COVID went and there'd be just lines of cars on the street and stuff. So they decided, I forgot that they have the month, or you have to plan a week ahead to do certain trails, because the South Sister, if you ever wanted to climb South Sister, used to be just show up and go, but now you need a permit.
What if you always needed a permit and you just did it the couple times you could just show up and go?
that'd be ironic, but I'm pretty sure you don't, or you didn't have to for. And then it's certain ones, like certain trails are different. Like you have to have the week ahead reserve, but there's some trails where you can, like at the trailhead, get a permit.
No, you sign in kind of. It's more of
Yeah,
a.
it's
Well,
essentially a sign-in, is what the permit is, but
And some of those are, which it is for like, oh yeah, we do have 2 hikers that were supposed to come out on that day. That's whose car that is, or
yeah.
they do. You're right. There are some of those where it is about safety. I know we had it wasn't a permit. It was a sign-in box in Colorado. When we were really little, we hiked up to this lake to go fishing, and it was one of those ones that was like, if you see ATV tracks, just know that was from a rescue we had to do like a couple weeks ago. And my mom and dad were like, oh, cool, this will be fun. Let's go hike up here. A long way up and a quick way back out. I remember they'd be like, it's so much quicker on the way out because it's all downhill.
Yeah. We had a sign in. We also had to have a permit too for St. Helens. For that one. But anyways, it is getting to that time, and I'm going to be that guy as we're going to get into our final words. So, final words, my guy.
Oh man, make the most of it. Everything, like I said, Yellowstone's in my backyard, so I'm gonna make the most of that. I'm gonna force myself to go there as much as I can, without straining myself out. That's why, like yesterday, got to take a break. My internet might be going out at this moment too because my computer's acting up, so I'm apologize if that comes through, guys. But we are, just make the most of your time. We're not here that long. We're human. We live 80, 100 years if we're lucky. And at the same point, some people hit 50, 60, and that's it because their body can't take it because they went hard when they're young. So I think if you have the time, you have the ability, make the most of every second of every day because you don't know. And if you want to go see a moose in Yellowstone, then get in the fucking car and go see a moose in Yellowstone. Don't text me from home saying, I wish I could do that. No, I'm kidding, Jared. I love you. But we'll go next week. All right, Reverend, your turn.
Reverend's final words of wisdom. Stay beautiful, everybody. I can't tell you how much I appreciate every single one of you. Please make sure you go and hit the like, subscribe, rate on the YouTube, on the Spotify, on the Apple, on the Google, on the wherever you get your spot or your podcast. Just give us the like, the thumbs up. It really does help out a lot with the whole algorithm stuff. And then, if you could tell a friend or a family member about the podcast too, that helps out a lot. Anything you guys can do to help us out would be mucho appreciated, much appreciated. We would love it. Just stay beautiful, go outside, enjoy some sun, enjoy some rain, enjoy some cloudy weather, whatever you want. But that being said, peace out, everybody.
Bye.